Subscribe to our YouTube channel for in-depth interviews of India Inc. and press the bell icon so that you do not miss our updates.
Hello and welcome to Nirmal, ladies and gentlemen. I'm Hiral Dadia. We have with us PB Sunil, MD at Carnival Cinemas, joining in. Welcome to the show, Sunil, and a pleasure to have you and speak to you yet again. Sunil, the last time we spoke was somewhere during COVID was at its peak, and I think at that point in time we were just talking about how things could go better from here on because nothing was open. If you have to describe the transition from April to now, how would you actually describe the transition?
Yes, thank you, Hiral, for taking me once again in this forum. And we chatted last time, sometime in April. And you must actually congratulate me to survive first of all this period because it's almost 10 months we have survived with nothing in hand. It's been a very tough time. I would honestly say it's been a very tough time because when we talked in April, we are talking about the business getting back probably in July, August. Worst come worst, Diwali time, October, etc. But nothing much happened, and we had to hold on for a pretty long time. Even now, we are holding on, though business is getting back slowly. So it's been quite a tough time. In terms of various factors. Even what happened is that all our partners, I would say, our probably the theater building owners, developers, the key suppliers, vendors, all were expecting the business to get back sometime middle of last year or October kind of thing. Then slowly it started delaying. So everyone started reaching to their limit of patience or limit of financial capacity, etc. Everyone is getting pushed to the limit. So that has literally opened up kind of various conversations. I would even say various legal battles with many of them because everyone has gone into a space where it's kind of survival. So it cannot continue anymore. Knowing that none of us can do anything because it's some nature calamity kind of thing, pandemic. But still, so I would consider that past couple of months we were in a battlefield. So knowing each other, we are in a battle with everyone, friendly battle or whatever it is. But whatever said and done, today we are looking to a very positive outcome or future. So that is one big thing because we really had a doubt what's really going to happen because one is pandemic, another is theater business, whether that will survive because there are various other effects, health, safety, OTT, and so many factors looking at this business in a very different way. So there's been a lot of question marks. But today I am very confident and positive that I think the time is coming where the business is coming back. So that the worst period is over. I would say we had reached the bottom and now there's only one way you can come up. So it has been a difficult time, but probably, some experience we probably got, which we would not have got in any case, or we may not, or no one may get this kind of experience. So that period is slowly getting over.
Absolutely, it's slowly getting over. Things are opening up. People are loosening up as well and started to move out. So hoping that the entertainment industry as a whole, along with travel, tourism, hospitality, picks up because these are the ones which have suffered the most. These are the ones which have got the least support as well so far in the form of a stimulus. So overall, Sunil, if you have to consider the total number of screens, I think around 6,000 odd single screens is what India has, and around 3,200 odd multiplexes. And these are numbers that I picked up from a report of 2019. As per you, how many have been shut down permanently because of the pandemic?
Of course, during pandemic, all were closed down, no doubt. And now opening is in a very phased manner because what happens is that again, there are state-wise opening. There are some states still not open. So naturally, the theaters in that state is not permitted to open. And wherever we have opened, it is still at 50% capacity. And in some states, of course, there are no suitable contents coming. So there are various reasons some theaters may not have opened so far. So it's not that they are permanently shut. So it's not easy to really make out how many are not going to open at all. We'll have to wait for some time. But I suspect, 10% of the theaters may not come back because,
Wow.
definitely everybody has gone through very difficult times. People would have gone into different businesses or different ways of other means. Because this, whatever said and done, this is a real estate. When you look at a single screen, it's a real estate.
Mm.
So real estate can be monetized in different ways. So when you have no way of monetizing through a theater and you don't find a near future immediate for it, so people start monetizing it through various other means, using the space for something else. So I'm sure 10% may not join when everything is okay.
Mm. So with this, if you're talking about the shutdowns, I know, as you mentioned, we are seeing a phased opening right now that's happening for the film exhibition industry. Now, with this phased opening, how difficult is it for a theater to decide? Because number one, there is absence of clarity on the reopening dates. Some states have allowed 100% occupancy, some are still sitting on 70%, some are sitting on 50%. And
Yes.
with that, there is an indefinite delay in making films as well. So how are you trying to, outmaster these difficulties right now?
Yeah, see, this was kind of expected because this phased, as it is, unlock has been in phased manner for every field. So this, what we have taken up is that we consider this financial year as no much activity. So whatever has to be provisioned, we will have to have a provision for this full financial year. That is up to March. So by March, we expect that all states will be open 100% because that is the, you can see it also. Most of the states are now 100% open. There are just one or two states left out, which surely in another month or two. So that means the new financial year should start with 100% capacity everywhere. So at least the theaters are open 100% capacity everywhere. That's when the movie producers will have confidence to release the movie. So one is opening the theater, another is to have a content. Because today we do not have much of contents. Hardly any contents are coming in. So that is another issue for people to come. But wherever good content has come, I would like to take an example because that is something which really boosted all of us. That is the master movie in the South, the Tamil movie which is released. We could see the same enthusiasm of pre-COVID. People jumping in and wanting to watch movie at 4 a.m. in the morning in the theaters. We opened a morning 4 a.m. show and people were coming houseful. Houseful means 50% of the houseful, whatever is permitted. So that enthusiasm, those things, we felt that, okay, it's just a matter of time. We have 100% capacity and good contents coming. People are back. People will be back. There's no doubt. So we expect that beginning of April, we should be having a near normal business.
Right. So currently, from the fleet that Carnival has, how many are operational and how many are still shut down?
We have around 420 screens. So out of which I would say nearly 175 are open. 175. What happens is that if a multiplex has got 4 or 5 screens, we may be opening 2 or 3 screens because there are not many contents. So in a property itself, we may not open all the screens. So considering that, we should be open around 170, 175 screens. It changes every week. At times we increase because better content is coming.
Right. So currently, with the screens that are open as well, have operational costs gone up?
Costs have definitely gone up because there are various factors again, So safety features are more these days, so that cost it has got a cost of its own. To ensure required safety, there are a lot of protocols to be followed, so that costs money. And when the capacity is down, the expenses are almost same. We cannot cut down in expenses. Requirements are more. So cost of operation, I would say, has been more compared to the capacity and compared to the content, compared to revenue. It is definitely different. But that is again expected, unless the business is back, you cannot bring down the cost to a level where it cannot operate. So this is again to be a provision, this loss. I would say we are all building loss this year. We are only seeing how much it will reach. The loss can reach to what figure. That is the calculation this year. Every year we calculate EBITDA, but this time we are reaching a calculated loss. So this loss has to be provisioned. There's no other way. Whichever way company can survive through this loss provisioning will be through in the next financial year.
Right. And overall, any impact that you've seen of COVID on ticket prices? Have you had to reduce ticket prices on an overall basis?
One good thing we have seen is that people have not found the ticket price or food price or anything an issue. So we are still having a same average ticket price, what we call ATP, average ticket price, as well as the food sales as pre-COVID. Though the volumes are very minuscule, but the ticket prices and the food sales, the averages are similar to the pre-COVID time.
Okay. And with this, how big a concern is the OTT platform? Because what we've been hearing right now is that the filmmakers are looking at OTT releases despite theaters opening up. Now, I understand you said that, once they start seeing good capacity and good occupancy in theaters, that's when they will start looking at theater releases. But do you think this is going to be a crucial factor that could impact the theater industry? Because if they don't come back at the same speed that what they used to release in theaters, that's something which is going to be of concern.
If you ask me, I think we discussed this in last April also. Honestly, in those periods, April, May, when all of us have been sitting at home and watching movies on OTT platforms, we had a concern. I mean, we never knew what is going to happen. The concern means we are not very sure.
Correct.
Today, we are very sure that nothing is going to change. The OTT has hardly any effect because all those movies are lined up and waiting for theaters to open. There are many movies, and hardly any movies have gone to OTT. There are, if you see the number wise in each language, hardly any movies have gone to OTT. I would say, fortunately for us, most of the big movies have gone to OTT, did not perform also well. So there has been always, they are also probably looking at the business model. So I don't think OTT is also very aggressive in getting these contents. They are also looking at value for money. So this kind of movies are definitely for theaters. And we could see many number of movies, the blockbuster to medium to lower scale movies are waiting for theaters to open, which is a good sign. And whichever is open, like a Bengali movie or a Tamil movie and a Punjabi movie coming, there is a craze for these movies. So with all that, it looks like, there has been no effect of OTT. I would honestly say that we could not find any effect. And once the theaters are open, of course, the regular route, like releasing in the theater first and then moving to OTT, that will follow.
Yeah. Right. So overall, can we say the trend would be that small and medium budget movies could be the ones that could be released on OTT platforms, but the bigger budget movies, the blockbusters, are the ones which will continue to remain with the theaters?
Definitely, there is no doubt about it. But even in smaller and medium budget, there has been not much of acceptance by the OTT platforms. They are not blindly buying. They are still evaluating because there is always a value for money. It's not a business where probably everyone expected different way. But then even smaller and medium budget movies are not being able to sell off to there's a big queue outside OTT platforms offices, but they're not buying. Definitely for one reason that it's not working out. So I'm sure, majority of them will come, but there could be definite separations that, okay, before I produce a movie, I can say that this is being produced for OTT platform or this is being produced for other platform, theaters, etc. That examples are also coming. So they declare before itself, I am producing it for a particular platform. So then it's okay. There's no confusion. So I believe even smaller scale movies are still going to come to theaters.
Right. So with this, another aspect is that not much has been done overall for the theatre industry in the form of a stimulus. The industry has been urging the government to consider its long-standing demand for subsidies and incentives to encourage screen penetration. What would your view be on the same? Do you think there could be things that could be worked out still?
Yes, unfortunately, I would say nothing much is specifically given to this industry. I would probably, the size of the industry is too small to be noticed or etc. because there's been nothing much specifically rolled out for this industry, though there has been many representations to the various government bodies. But I would say there's still chances. There are discussions. There are still possibilities. Couple of our still requests remain same, that waiving of some of the electricity costs, and probably even relooking at the GST for this, because if GST can be reduced, which is at 18%, that benefit goes to the people. So more people can be attracted to these theaters. So those kind of still, we are still pressing for it and hoping that once the business comes to probably by April to a normalcy, then government can see that okay, these kind of changes make sense. So we are still hoping that some more benefits will be given to this industry.
Right. And anything specific that you've been asking for, which you think is on the verge of happening, where the government will be surely ready to give it as an incentive to the industry?
At this stage, I would say very unlikely. Very unlikely, though there are discussions, there are repetitive discussions on the same subjects. But, there has been much bigger areas of concern for the government to take care. Definitely, the health concerns, etc. The budget is through. So that's also one big phase the government is going through. I think these phases have to complete before they get into probably the smaller sectors. I would say the smaller sectors, and to spread out to that kind of levels, they're taking time. So I don't think anything specific we can comment at this stage.
Right. Sunil, apart from this, if you have to talk about content as well, we have a lot of international content that comes in as well.
Yes.
So, yes, we are pretty low in terms of domestic content, but how is the international content pipeline looking like?
In fact, all contents, international, that is mainly
Mhm.
Bollywood and regional, it's a very big lineup this year. That is the biggest boost for us. From April, there can be a very big lineup because there's been pending, a lot of movies being pending for release. So Hollywood, if you take the bigger movies like James Bond, No Time to Die, or Fast and Furious, and the biggest of all, Avatar, is also planned for this year. So I think that those 3 or 5 movies alone can be more than 1,000 crore turnover in India. So it is that kind of potential coming this year. If you take Bollywood movies, again the lineup is quite big, and I'm sure I feel that there could be clashes of bigger contents this year. And again this fight for the space for screens, because screens are getting limited. So movies like Suryavanshi 83, which was supposed to be coming pre-COVID, they're already waiting to release. I'm very confident that from April all these are lined up. There is Rathe, there is so many other movies, Lal Singh, Chadda, and regional movies also, big budget movies. I mean, you cannot imagine that kind of budget of regional movies. All these are waiting. This year is going to be jam-packed. This year means, I would say, from April, it's going to be jam-packed with contents.
Hmm.
Yes.
So with this, Sunil, very lastly, anything that Carnival is trying to do differently for a big bang comeback, taking into consideration, or any offers, any schemes that you all are running, anything different to attract crowd?
Of course, there are a lot of schemes depending on the kind of contents coming or the way we are able to open the theaters. Schemes are always there in terms of discounts, or and first of all, we had rolled out a scheme of a free movie for all the COVID warriors. That means anybody has been on the front end of COVID battle, that is doctors and of course health people and police people or municipal people across the country, they can watch movie free in Carnival cinemas. So that is also for one person, they get 2 tickets free. So they can. So that's been one thing from our side. Beyond that, there has been a lot of discounts. Like you buy 2 tickets and you get 1 ticket. They will attract people. First of all, first and foremost, our fear has been people coming to our theaters, whether they are willing to come or not. Whether, of course, youngsters are ready to take risk, but whether family will come as a family and come into theaters, all this has been a concern. So we have been rolling out family vouchers, this, that, so many things. But to our delight, we have seen that all are back. All categories of people, including senior citizens, are back to theaters. I don't think there is fear factor. All that is gone. I mean, that is not there. We need not instill again onto them. So it is not there. And very fortunately, since we have opened in October till today, we have not got a single complaint from any people, any patron about the safety aspects in the theater. That means we have been maintaining everything excellent or to the requirement, and they are confident about it. People are confident. The first phase, what we worked about bringing back the confidence of people, that I think we have won the battle. So there is no doubt about it. So those things, phase by phase, we are coming, and by soon, by April or something, everybody will be back. So, and probably more schemes can be rolled out to attract more and more people, etc. I am sure in the beginning of next financial year also we'll have to provision for more of marketing and more of this kind of activities where we still bring in more people, more confidence, etc. That will continue. Yes.
Absolutely. I think that confidence needs to come back in everyone. I think that's the only thing that's lacking. And hoping that all of us come out of this phase pretty quickly, all businesses revive pretty quickly. Thank you, Sunil, so much for joining us on the show. Pleasure speaking to you. As always, speak soon and stay safe.
Thank you, Hiral. Thank you very much.